Hey everyone, it's Greg. Welcome back to another Dice Throne talk on Tuesday. Today we're going to be talking about Dice Throne update number 41 that came out last Thursday, September 17th of 2020. We're also going to be talking about the Facebook community page and some interesting comments and posts that have been put on there. And lastly, we're going to be talking about a four-player game, King of the Hill style, that my wife and I and a couple friends played over the weekend. First thing first, though, I just want to say if I end up coughing or anything at all, I apologize for that. I'll try to cough away from the mic best I can. But unfortunately, I've been quarantined, showing signs of symptoms, so hopefully it's not, but we'll see how it goes. Otherwise, we'll get right into it here, into the update. So we still have 100% fulfillment, 83% manufacturing, still going on Season 1 Rerolled, the Ninjas vs. Treant, and Dice Throne Adventures. Looking like hopefully done manufacturing by next month, October 15th. That's the deadline that they have for it. Hopefully that's the case. And everything else end of this month. And obviously no fulfillments. So hopefully by October 24th, they're ready to go, cargo going, and going on ships and departing October 31st. Obviously, October 31st, meaning that it still needs to go overseas, and that's going to be quite a few weeks to do that. And it looks like they had over 8,000 orders, so that's a lot of orders. So congratulations for everyone that's getting this game. And 2 weeks to deliver, so we're looking around late December, early January. So I guess if you celebrate Christmas or anything like that for holidays, you'll be getting a present for the holidays. So nothing wrong with that. Just another box to open, which is always very exciting. I think there's a lot of Kickstarters out there right now that are being delayed 4 to 6 months. I think I talked to you before about how we got a Kickstarter that was 9 months delayed or 8 months delayed. So what's 5, 6 months? That's not a problem at all. So just understand what's going on with the world, and there's not a whole lot that we can do about it other than wait, play some Dice Throne, and keep on enjoying it. And these are their best estimates. Obviously, these dates can change. It can get quicker. It can go longer. So we just have to see how it goes. And as we go down here, there's some more minis here. Painted minis, a little more up close. So obviously there is a little bit of concern, such as like the eye right there on the Pyromancer. There's another concern about this right here. Now, when we get to the Facebook page, we're going to talk about this a little bit more and how Manny touched up on this and has some clarifications on this. But overall, I'm going to enjoy having painted minis. I have a lot of miniatures, but none of them are painted. So these will be my first painted miniatures. I'm not an artist whatsoever. I have for miniatures like Star Wars Legion. I'm getting ready, I think, to finally purchase some paint for that stuff, but I have no idea what I'm doing. So I have to do a lot of YouTube videos on that to figure out what to do. But overall, I'm really going to like these a lot. It's a huge base right there for the Treant. I'd be curious to see if they do all fit on the tiles with the different bases. And like, so you have like Seraph right there with the Treant. And then if you put the Ninja with them too, they're all going to fit. It'd be interesting to see. I really like it though overall. I really like the poses that they have. The Gunslinger, gunslinging it out there. Barbarian looking to smash. So I really like it overall. Halloween contest. If you want to be part of the Halloween contest, you've got to be a member of the Facebook community. So we'll get into that. Costumes must be a new creation, so no old photos, and submitted by October 30th. Really cute artist right there as well. So there it is. Something that I have talked about with my friends over the weekend. They have always enjoyed playing Dice Throne with us, and they are thinking about buying it. So if they want to do that, I showed them how to do that. You have to go to this pre-order now and get that. I believe they're taking orders up to the end of September. Don't quote me on that if someone knows a better timeline, but I believe you have until the end of September of 2020 to purchase any of this material. So I'm letting them know that. Hopefully, if they decide to do it, they buy it, because then that allows a lot more like mirror matches and a lot more diversity, even though it's the same characters, a lot more diversity of what people want to play, such as having 3 of one character, really, if we wanted to, because wife and I are getting re-rolled as well. So we have the original re-rolled, and then they'll get re-rolled as well. So a lot of Season 1 characters flying around. So the Facebook community page, this is what it looks like. I invite you all to join it. There's a lot of good information coming from here, as long as Discord. This is something that Manny posted about 10 hours ago, so actually 11 hours ago, so right around midnight, 11 o'clock. Fantastic work. Really, really impressive work. AJ, if you weren't aware, it was doing a Dice Throne charity event where playing on Tabletop Simulator raised at least $180. Congratulations, AJ. That's really awesome. Great work. Hope that you continue to do so and it becomes more and more successful. So obviously there was concern about this painted mini. And let's just go through the comments here a little bit because Manny touched on this. Rick also touched on it as well. The big thing here is that these are factory painted minis, not professionally painted ones. So if you are big into painting miniatures, you may want to paint your own miniatures, meaning that you would get the unpainted minis. That's why they suggested the painted or unpainted. So if you're not comfortable or want to paint your own minis, don't get the painted ones. Let's see if... So here is Manny's response. So the one that we've been looking at is the far left. And that far left one is the physical sample that they sent them. And that's the only ones they had for the pictures. So it's better to send something just to get some content out there rather than not saying anything at all. Obviously, there's some misinterpretation on what they wanted the art to look like, what the paint to look like. They've been fixed. And the right is what it's going to look like. I think that looks a lot better. A whole lot better. I like that a lot. I think that looks cool. So, good at work on that. Obviously, Kickstarter, there's a lot of files. Like they said, there's a lot of files going back and forth of a little bit of this, a little bit of that. That's including the miniatures as well. It's mass production quality. And contact KS at Roxley.com if you need anything adjusted. So, but obviously there's a lot of anticipation to see what people can do with these unpainted minis and what they can look like and how cool they can make them or different colors or whatnot. So I think that's going to be awesome. So thank you, Manny, for doing that. I think that's going to be really cool. Obviously, fall colors maybe too. So there's a lot of fun on this page. I highly, highly encourage it. And lastly, unfortunately, I missed this. I'm really upset that I missed this, but Manny did a live stream. It was around 11 o'clock at night, and I unfortunately missed it. But through the live stream, he was testing out some new equipment and ended up doing a quick sketch of the Pyromancer, which is this fantastic drawing right here. Excellent work, Manny, as always. So, good work overall. If you want to continue supporting him, he said that he's looking to do some independent stuff, but he wants to keep that away from Dice Throne, and I respect that immensely. So, good job overall, and keep the good work. Ready to see what happens next for Dice Throne. Finally, we've got this stuff. So, we played a 4-player game. I believe it was on Saturday night, and the 4 people were my wife Michaela, myself obviously, and then Gar and Cherish. Gar's is their last name, so I go Gar for one and Cherish for the other. They're married, and we've played board games with them for the last few years, actually. We got them into board gaming. We showed them Dominion first, and it just kind of spiraled out from there. So the 4 characters that were chosen, I've just used the updated versions that were on the Kickstarter, as it looks a little bit better in my opinion. So I'm using these, and I took a picture of the last one because it was a season 2. So my wife was the Pyromancer. At first she wanted to be the Vampire Lord, but I talked to her like, well, Pyromancer is pretty good at King of the Hill because of this one little thing right here, collateral damage to all opponents. So she can attack a lot of people in just one turn. So she was the Pyromancer. I was the Barbarian. I'm really enjoying him. I'm still trying to get used to him a little bit. I know the big thing I was going for was either overpower or sturdy blow, because I would be rolling. A lot of the times what I rolled was 2 swords, 1 6, and 2 hearts. So it was going for that sturdy blows, the overpowers, or maybe if I was luck out, get the 6s. So we'll find out later what was happening. For the Moon Elf, that was Cherish. She excels with the Moon Elf quite a bit. Moon Elf is a very tough character to go against for a lot of different reasons. So she was the Moon Elf. Did a really good job with her. And finally, the Samurai was Gar. He decided to try him out. I don't think he's tried him out yet. Usually he is the Paladin. He's tried the Monk and the Gunslinger are kind of his main ones. So he tried out the Samurai, and he did a really good job as well. So first thing first is we had to decide who was going to go first, so we rolled off. And of course, Gar and Michaela rolled 6s, so then they had to roll off on that, and Michaela won, and she got to go first as the Pyromancer. And of course, what she did was roll a natural, and she targeted me, of course. So she gained Fire Mastery up right away, inflict knockdown on me, and burnt me, and dealt 12 damage, but additionally dealt 2 additional damage, collateral damage to all opponents. So that was fantastic to start my turn off, and that hurt quite a bit. So that was a really good, strong play for her right out of the gate. Next was me, and I was already down. We were playing 40 health. So I think I took 14 right there, and so I'm already down to 28 health, and I haven't even gone yet. So that was pretty rough. Barbarian goes, and what I ended up doing, I think, was just a smack, and I believe it was just 8 damage smack that time around. The only thing I ended up upgrading in this game was Smack to Smack 2. That was the only upgrade I got until the very end. So I smacked her around, and then it was the Samurai that was next. And, oh, I'm sorry. Disregard that. So those were before. Samurai went first because Gar was ended up being the first player of the game. So those two events did happen first for our turns. However, Samurai did go first. So he got his honor right out of the gate, which is awesome. And he was inflicting a whole lot of shame and was attacking Cherish quite a bit. I don't think he ever really attacked me. He attacking mainly Cherish and Michaela. So a lot of what he did, I don't think he ever rolled a small or large straight during the game, but he was rolling a lot of the katana slices, wakizashi, and solemnity. I cannot say that word to save my life, but he was rolling those quite a bit. So he's either getting back straight or he was inflicting shame, which was fantastic. And Michaela actually one of those times did transference and inflicted shame to me one time, which was not cool. For his defensive rolls, he never was able to upgrade it. He was able to upgrade his Wakizashi to make it 4 undefendable, which was pretty good because he was rolling that consistently. His stand tall, he kept it as a regular, and he was preventing and pretty much the kabutos and the katanas is what he was rolling for his defensive. And then it was Cherish's turn. Cherish 4 times in one game rolled exploding arrow. 4 times. It was nuts. And 2 of those times, she rolled, when she rolled the 5, it was 4 arrows one time, and then the 6, which is lunar eclipse, or not a lunar eclipse, but that's the ultimate. But the 6, and then a couple other times she was rolling bows and feet, and she attacked Gar, the samurai, all 4 times with that attack. It was a hard hitting attack, and so I think that's why he kept on putting shame onto her, was because she kept on throwing these heavy hitting attacks on him. I don't think she ever upgraded anything, and that defensive role of having damage helped out for her quite a bit. So what he was doing to bypass that, he was rolling Wakizashi, and then whenever that way to keep her from the defensive role, and then she was throwing exploding arrows back at him, but when he was able to, he was getting his back strikes to deal a little bit more damage at her. So had a nice little fight right there. And then Michaela, her big thing, obviously first time through, she did Scorch the Earth. She rolled her defensive roll probably about 3 times. One of the first times she never got a fire mastery, but it was always dealing a lot of damage. She did Burning Soul, I think 3 times, which did help quite a bit because she was dealing this 3 damage, 2 damage to everyone, gaining fire masteries too. She did Pyroblast one time as well, early on in the game. So, other than that, I think that was really what she was doing, is just the Burning Soul, Pyroblast, and I think she did Fireball one time as well. It's just kind of how it went, and she attacked me with Fireball with that 8 damage to gain that Fire Mastery. So, good on her for that. And then Barbarian, like I said, I kept on trying to roll Thick Skin with 3 dice, and only best would roll 1 heart. So I was taking a lot of damage as well. I did roll Fortitude one time just to get some health back, just because I kept on getting hit really hard with all these big attacks. So I did, when the dice forced me to, I think I rolled 3 hearts their first roll. So I'm like, okay, well, I'll just roll some more hearts and just healed up a little bit. Otherwise, I was rolling the smacks, overpower, and whatnot. So to get to the end of the game, what happened was I had all four players were still up to alive, and we're all about 10 health or lower. Michaela had 6. I ended up having 2. Gar had 10. And Cherish had, I don't know, about 4 or something like that. And Gar ended up attacking Cherish and knocked her out of the game. So, Moon Elf, no more. Then, let's see. Michaela went, and she ended up attacking Gar with a samurai and took him out with a big ol' attack. And then it was my turn to go, and it was just Michaela and I left. And I ended up rolling for the first time a straight. It ended up being my large straight in 2 rolls. And so I had 2 health. She had 6 health still. And what ended up happening was I did the reckless. The reason why is because she had 3 CP and a couple cards in her hand. So I'm like, crud. If she has the not this time, that prevents 6. She takes 3 damage. She will damage me back with the attack. I'm dead and she'll live. So I'm like, forget it. I'm going big or going home. We'll end it as a draw. So I ended up rolling that. She did not have not this time, and throughout the entire game, everyone lost. We tied. So Cherish was out first, then Gar, and then Michaela and I took each other out at the final attack. Something that did help as well was that Cherish, when she was about to die, she actually rolled half damage, and that would have helped her. However, I had a Soul Wild in my hand. It wasn't my turn, but I played it to keep her to have 2 feet because that was her big thing. So I made it an arrow, and then she tried to throw something down to change it. Didn't work, and ended up putting full damage on her to kill her. So really big, really crucial on that. To use those Soul Wilds not only for yourself, but to prevent other people from maybe doing half damage or some sort of big defensive roll or making them whiff. Huge things to keep those dice modifiers as best you can. So, looking to do it again here soon. Probably won't be doing another full 4-player next week as they're busy, but probably the weekend afterwards. Looking to do another Dice Throne, and we'll let you know how it goes. If you've ended up playing any, let me know how those games have gone below. I'd be love to hear how those have gone. And this week on Friday, we're gonna have the Samurai that I'll be playing against the Gunslinger for our tournament play for Season 2 in the Losers Bracket. And finally, just to show him off, because he was squeaking around and whatnot, that is Caesar, our dog. So, alright everyone, stay tuned. We'll